Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, because you guys requested it, we're going to be counting down the top 10 Marvel Legends for 2017. Now, it's going to be kind of difficult to pick out the better ones from the lesser ones since they're all the same line of figures, but I've come up with a list of 10 which I think are probably better than the others. Sure, some could be interchanged, but I think these would probably be a good example of what the Marvel Legends line is and should be. So that's how we're going to do it. Let's go ahead and start with an honorable mention, and then we'll get into the list. For our honorable mention, I want to include the vintage Wolverine. Now, don't get me wrong, this figure is really solid, but it is essentially just a 100% repaint of various Wolverine parts, so I didn't really want to push it too far up on the list just because of that, but it definitely belongs on the list. It's a great example of a good Marvel Legends figure. So it's here, but it's not quite here. Coming in at number 10, we have Elsa Bloodstone, which is so far back on the list just because it's part of a big pack which doesn't have the most great figures in the world, but this figure is a great example of the character. In fact, it's not one that I was particularly familiar with, but as far as I can tell, it really captures the character, and it has some nice parts, nice paint job, and nice accessories. Coming in at number 9, we have Tombstone, which is a figure people have wanted for ages, and it does reuse a lot of parts, but it does have the new parts where it needs to have them, and it's just done so well. There's really not a lot to complain about for this guy, even though it's a fairly basic figure. It really does get the job done, and I think it's a great addition to just about any Marvel collection. Coming in at number 8, we have Shatter, which does feature quite a few new parts and a pretty elaborate paint job for a Marvel Legends figure. It does come with multiple accessories, and it is just a really good example of a Marvel Legends figure. Yes, it has a few issues here and there are definitely places for improvement, but this is a really nice addition, and I think for most X-Men people this was a must-have. Coming in at number 7, we have Sunfire, which is another must-have for an X-Men collector. It's just a really solid figure. It has the good paint jobs where it needs to have them. It has some really nice molding to make sure that the colors are uniform, and it's just really solid. It doesn't do a whole lot special, but what it does do is done really well. Coming in at number 6, we have the new 2099 Spider-Man, which features a pretty elaborate paint job and sculpt, and it has really solid articulation. Again, it's not a perfect figure, none of these are going to be at the $20 price point, but what it does accomplish, it does really well, and the flaws it does have are just pretty minimal. So this is definitely a good addition to any Spider-Man collection. Coming in at number 5, we have the Old Man Logan figure, which is not just good because the movie was so darn good, it's good because it really accomplishes its task. I mean, this is pretty much the perfect Old Man Logan figure. Yes, it could use more paint here and there, or maybe better skin tone, but those are minor gripes for an otherwise pretty outstanding figure. It has great sculpt work, what paint is there is done really well, and it has pretty solid articulation, so there's really not too much to complain about. Coming in at number 4, we have the new Moon Knight figure, which does feature almost no paint, but it does have a lot of new parts and some pretty solid engineering. It does come with a handful of accessories, and it really captures Moon Knight properly. There's really nothing else you could do other than maybe a little bit of shading. It's a really solid pickup. Coming in at number 3, we have the homemade suit Spider-Man from the movie, which I think is easily one of the better figures of the year. Is it perfect? Not by any means, but it does feature a whole bunch of new sculpting, and it has a really great range of motion for almost every point of articulation. There's not a whole lot to complain about for this guy. I think it beats out all of the other movie Spider-Man figures, so that's why it makes the list. Coming in at number 2, we have the Cyclops and Dark Phoenix X-Men 2-pack, which, yes, you could make the argument that they are mostly reused parts, but there are new parts, but the thing that sets this pack apart the most is the paint job. It just makes them stand out. They look so nice, and they're two characters that we've wanted for so long. There's just really no reason to not get this. If you're an X-Men fan, a Marvel fan, an action figure collector, there's just really nothing against this set. It's a really nice set, and if I was making this list based purely on my own personal preferences, this would easily be number 1. Coming in at number 1, we have Angela, which like I kind of said the opposite of for Cyclops and Phoenix, I don't really care about this character personally, but the figure itself is just done so exceptionally well. It's got so much paint, so much new molding, so much sculpt work, and the articulation's all functional, and it comes with accessories and loose moving parts. It's just pretty much everything you could want out of this price point. It is a really, really solid figure, and easily one of the best showings from Hasbro to date. So you really need to pick this up, and I would suggest you pick up all of these figures. It's not going to run you that much money, and they're all nice additions to your collections. So that'll do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about this list. I know it's a very subjective thing, so if you have different picks you would put on this list, go ahead and let me know. And if you like the list, let me know that too. So make sure you guys come back. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.